DJ. Coming up next, we got a Warrior Mirror. We got Amnesiac versus PNC. This one's going to be a barn burner.
Remember when we used to call him PNC?
PNC. Oh, right. That's how you say it. But it's his nickname is like Pincho or Poncho.
Yeah.
Poncho? I don't know. But he shortened it to PNC.
Don't
which
punch me.
I kind of thought... Derek Brown 2019. I thought he named himself after the bank at first. I was like, oh, okay, this is just like the PNC bank. But
like Monsanto.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the deck list. So we got Amnesiac coming up here first. Amnesiac feels like he's kind of been just sticking to his guns. The past couple weeks, he's been playing Warrior. He went through a Hunter phase, went through a Mage phase. Now it's going through a Warrior phase. So we don't really know too much about how everything's been going on over in Amnesiac land. He's kind of been silent, off the grid. But I assume that he's kind of enjoying his summer and going through the last steps of graduation through all the farewells, because it's kind of a big deal. People remember when you grow up in high school, it's all the friends that you grew up with the entire time. And
it's almost July.
You're entering a different time of your life. Yeah, but he's like going through a farewell tour with his friends. Like
okay. Because I don't know. I was done with high school and like school ended June 9th. I was out of there June 11th.
Yeah, and that's a much more relatable experience for I think most of us.
Yeah.
But you know, according to Amnesiac, he is very popular in high school.
So was I. I didn't. Never mind.
What?
I was popular amongst my small group of friends.
There you go.
We were all popular to each other.
TJ, you're very popular to me.
I was class president. I was captain like 8 sports teams.
Wait, really?
No.
Oh. I don't know. You did play some sports.
I was captain of my baseball team, varsity baseball team.
Gotcha. You were the captain and the catcher? That's a lot off the shoulder.
It makes sense from catcher perspective. They're like
they manage the pitchers and everything. They're making the game calls and stuff like that.
Call the out calls, all that stuff. So
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, the more you know. TJ was very popular in high school.
Yeah.
And he was also apparently class president and prom king.
Yep, was prom king 5 years in a row.
He wore this shirt. Wow, nice.
Yeah, 5 years in a row.
They always say the 5th one's the hardest.
Yeah, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior 1, and senior 2.
Great.
Did a victory lap.
Yeah, well, you know,
for old time's sake.
At least you didn't do that thing where you went to college and someone from high school asked you to go with them in college, and then decided to do that. That's always a little weird. That happened at my prom, where like a few college people were there, and everyone's like, "Why are you still here?"
I went to college literally as far away as possible as I could get from my high school. I went to high school in Central California. I went to college in Washington, D.C.
Oh. Well, that's not as far away as I think
it's
far away as possible. Far away as possible.
Far away as possible
like
in the continental
Asia.
United States.
Ah, but you could have gone to Maine. Maine is farther.
But Dan, the way the Earth rotates, Washington D.C. is farther. Virginia jets out.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Because you know when planes fly across the country, they go up because the way the Earth rotates.
Oh.
Like looking at a flat map. Yes.
So what about Florida then?
Yeah, Florida would have been further.
Yeah.
Like if I'd gone to college in Miami, technically yes, Dan, it would have been further. Thanks. Thanks, Dad.
Technically correct is the best correct. All right, let's go ahead and check in with these players. We have PNC versus Amnesiac. PNC, he's got the Clockwork Goblins, but he's got nothing for turn 2. And meanwhile, Amnesiac, we'll see whether or not he's able to mount up the pressure. Who is going to be the one taking the initiative? Amnesiac's kind of been playing the Warrior matchups fairly aggressively.
Yeah.
He's been drawing fast. He's been trying to put on the pressure. I anticipate something similar is going to happen for this game.
Yep. And we saw the deck list briefly, but just to mention it, these players' deck lists are nearly identical. The only difference is PNC has 2 copies of Acolyte of Pain and 1 Town Crier. Amnesiac has 2 Town Criers and 1 Acolyte of Pain. That's the only difference. They both have 1 Omega Devastator, 1 Spellbreaker. They both have 1 Brawl. They both have Archivist Elysiana main deck.
Defend the gates!
And a Militia Commander going to come out here just to make sure that PNC doesn't draw too much. And again, the Elysiana shouldn't really come into play here, but we anticipate this series to potentially be a long one. PNC definitely needs this win, though. Improve his playoff chances and to take the lead over Strife Crow, is it? I believe so.
Yes. Because Strife Crow went to 6-6.
Yes. Meanwhile, Amnesiac indirectly would keep his playoff game alive, too, at 7-7. If Strife Crow and PNC lose out. They're right now number 3 and 4.
Okay.
What a story that would be if Amnesiac somehow like squeaks in. I think he has a very low percentage chance, like it has to be.
Like after a rough start, forfeits a week, comes back, wins out.
There you go.
What a story.
He would never shut up about that if that ended up happening. If there's one thing that Amnesiac loves more than winning, it's talking about how he wins.
Yeah. I guess we're kind of culprits to that too, Dan.
It's true.
Because we told the story about our in-house tournament with
win
Nathan and Soddle.
We win a couple of best of 3s, and all of a sudden, like, we're just trash talking Europe casters nonstop. We win the equivalent of like 1 Grandmasters week.
What's funny is that I went 1-1 with Soddle.
All right.
The way that double elimination group brackets work.
Yeah.
What now?
All right, so Dynamatic comes down here for PNC. Nothing really for Amnesiac, but if he wants to stay aggressive, he has to stay on the card.
Amnesiac has both booms, though.
Yeah, the big one is Dr. Boom Mad Genius. Blastmaster Boom, he doesn't even have bombs shuffled in, I believe.
No, and both players are kind of light on bombs. I mean, of course, they do have Clockwork Goblin Wrench Calibers, but neither player has Augmented Elec.
No.
So their ability to get to that critical mass of bombs. Mucho bombas.
Muchas. Bombas.
God. Muy rapido bombas.
Yeah, you're right. The bombs are going to come in full force. But with the Acolyte of Pain, PNC's like, you know what? I'm just going to draw 1 card. Amnesiac has the option of denying that card draw, too. He can be very cheeky and Spellbreaker the 1-3 and then trade, and then use Dr. Boom Mad Genius to just outvalue PNC for the rest of the game. Because everything else from PNC will most likely be drawing 1 card unless PNC plays.
He does play second Acolyte also. No Weapons Project in either player's deck.
This is the second Acolyte.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So if he ends up stripping this Acolyte of draws, PNC's best form of draw afterwards is Harrison, which is not exactly a good guarantee.
Defend the gates.
I think there's a lot of use for Spellbreaker in this matchup in a multitude of ways. You can use it to get past taunts, you can use it to stop the magnetic buffs. Flex value off the Militia Commander instead. There's no Weapons Project in the deck too, so PNC doesn't have that many targets for Harrison to land on.
This is a pretty big victory for Amnesiac 2 for game 1 because he doesn't have a secondary or tertiary deck that's designed with the Warrior Mirror in mind. In fact, he removes Elysiana in both his secondary and tertiary decks, so he's stuck in his primary. Whereas PNC, his secondary deck removes cards that are not great in Warrior Mirrors and adds just more mechs and faces with it.
Oh man. Mechs and Faces Manipulator, which ends up being funny because Amnesiac does have an anti-mech package, but he strips himself of the Elysiana. Looks like Amnesiac has the Dr. Boom Mad Genius. Gonna put a wrench into the plan for PNC.
Thanks. I'll destroy you last.
Throws out the well played.
Yeah, very, of course, sarcastically implying that because Amnesiac has Dr. Boom on 7 that the game has already been determined. Or, good job playing so well that you drew Dr. Boom Mad Genius. It's a very salty emote.
Nice. Nice job. Wow, great play.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Dan,
So
that was
many
a great
choices.
explanation.
It's true. Hearthstone players are very salty about stuff at the highest level. It's because they've seen so many patterns repeated over and over that it and human psychology tends to remember the worst things that happen to you.
So many choices.
That it's just like, oh, of course he has Dr. Boom on 7.
I gotta move.
There's a chance that he has it, given that some people keep it in their opening hand. You might get it in your draws.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Hearthstone and card games breeds a special kind of soul, TJ. One that you can't find by going to the mines of the earth. One that you can't create in the laboratory. And frankly, you know what makes it even sadder? The players are trying to hold it back because they want to be professional and polite. They really want to go off. Because when they do show off how salty they are, they can't handle the backlash. Because some fans and other people are just like, come on, don't be such a
This would be a good time for a master plan.
I say be salty.
Yeah, I say be yourself.
Be salty. And then handle your business.
Yeah. I mean, some GMs are doing exactly that. Have you seen Nalgadon's Twitter
For a
feed?
master
Yeah.
plan.
He is one salty Argentinian, let me tell you about that. And rightfully so. You saw what happened to him yesterday. He got riggedy wrecked. All right, enough about that. Amnesiac gonna clear a little bit off the board here. Grab some of the board presence. What's important for him is to set up a Wrench Caliber Blastmaster Boom scenario. PNC is gonna have to extract every ounce of value and survive the waves of threats. Because his hero power doesn't do anything except generate armor, while Amnesiacs will be answering the board and even developing, which would be hard for PNC to respond back. You right, TJ?
Yeah. PNC. When you don't have Dr. Boom Mad Genius and your opponent does, it feels so bad to just kind of match them like 1 for 1, right? It feels kind of bad just to keep playing the control pin and hope you draw it. But it also feels bad to just like equip Wrench Caliber and try and be aggressive.
Your magic shall
But honestly, I think the best course of action is to be aggressive, because if you don't have Dr. Boom Mad Genius, your opponent does, they're going to beat you in value. You're not going to outvalue them. So you have to find some other way to do it. Try and not let them get value out of their cards. Try and play aggressive. Hope that, say, what's the best draw on my deck? Right now, it's probably Blastmaster Boom. So let's shuffle more bombs in. He's got 2 bombs in his deck, in Amnesiac's deck right now. Maybe he can find a way to close out the game if he gets a good string of bombs and draws the Blastmaster Boom with a few in the deck. Amnesiac is kind of in the opposite situation. There's no reason for him to go fast because he is going to
This would be a
outvalue.
good time for a master plan.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he doesn't have to necessarily even do very much here. He is trying to figure out what's the best time to go for Wrench Caliber into Blastmaster Boom. But by playing Wrench Caliber, he gives PNC an opportunity to draw cards, which draw him deeper into the deck with Blastmaster Boom too. So, situation where it's not exactly clear. I think because he has 3 warpaths, he can consider that as, 2 warpaths, he can consider triple warpathing for clears. Looks like he agrees. If he plays the Eternium Rover, he actually equalizes the armor count too. So it's not like PNC gains armor and Amnesiac's behind on the bomb damage.
And that is the maximum armor you can expect to get. You can also keep around the 1/1 Eternium Rover with playing the Kaboom over the third charge of Warpath. And Eternium Rover off the top from PNC, not what he wants to see.
It's one of the weakest draws in his deck for sure.
I wonder if Amnesiac even wants to play Wrench Caliber.
Probably not, because like we said, if it allows Harrison Jones to help him draw
many
deeper into his deck, and Amnesiac wants to keep his boom versus no boom advantage. If you play Wrench Caliber, you let PNC potentially draw into it.
Yeah, you want to keep forcing him to use cards to deal with your non-cards,
Yeah.
your
Maybe
cards or minions that are
no.
generated by the hero power.
But it's cool though because Wrench Caliber is a wrench charged with electricity. And as we know, things with electricity just looks cooler.
Are you sure it's electricity?
I wish. I mean, things covered in flames, things covered in water, things covered in earth. No, those aren't as nearly as cool as the lightning. I mean, flames are pretty cool.
All right.
I mean, that's probably the only reason why people even like Captain Falcon, because everything he does just turns into lightning.
Okay, it is lightning.
Yeah.
I just moused over it.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was like magic. I don't know.
Oh, like arcane?
Yeah, something.
Arcane energy?
Because Wrench Caliber doesn't say anything that's like, it's not Wrench Storm Caliber, you know? It's not Wrench Lightning Wrench, Electricity
I mean,
Wrench.
that's a little on the nose.
I
If you
equip,
call everything very literally.
I equip my Electricity Wrench.
Hearthstone isn't a game that names things what it is, right?
Are you sure? Dan, what is a Stranglethorn Tiger?
Well, no, they could have just called it Tiger.
Well, it's a tiger from Stranglethorn.
Yeah. But like that's one of the that doesn't happen that often, right? Ziliax isn't Robot Man.
The Robot Heel Man.
He's just Ziliax.
Yeah.
He's Zilly from the block.
maybe no.
I mean, Shield Slam's pretty literal.
What if we've been pronouncing Ziliax wrong? Like the X is silent the entire time. And he just lets it happen.
What if the Z is silent?
Iliax.
What if it's
Oh,
what if it's a Spanish double L?
Ziax?
ZX?
A Mega Assembly picked up here from Amnesiac, picks up a Mega Devastator, Unpowered Steambot. His advantage is climbing higher and higher, and PNC is just passing. You can see the past couple turns in the match history bar. Armor up, hero power, or it's hero power, shield block, hero power, Omega Assembly, hero power. That's kind of the state of the game where Amnesiac's just climbing further ahead. PNC just armoring up.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I'm gonna miss Ziliax a lot when he rotates out. I think he's a great card.
Is your take out next April?
Maybe
As far as we know, with Hall of Fames now coming in middle of the year, we don't really know what's gonna happen, man. Anything
That's
can
true.
happen.
In the past couple years, I think it's been in April. But I mean, we have stuff going to Hall of Fame like in a week or something.
Yeah,
a
I'm
couple
saying
weeks.
that now there's been a new precedent, which is that
Ziliax
all-
might be gone
tomorrow.
on Christmas.
Oh, come on. Don't do that to the kids. Don't do that to the kids. Mike, Mr. Scrooge, don't
Just doesn't even write official patch notes. Just goes on Twitter on December 24th and says, Ziliax is moving to the Hall of Fame tomorrow morning.
That'd be so sad. I like Ziliax. He like gives a lot of range for decks to play defensive and slow just because he's a neutral card. But
Yep.
he is also kind of insane with all the mech stuff. I wish like Ziliax was available to every class except Warrior. Can we do that? That's an
Okay.
interesting design concept to
Two
make anti-neutral cards.
restrictions. Can't be played in Warrior and can't be played in any rogue deck that includes Pogo Hopper.
No, I like that aspect of it.
I don't.
I like it because it gives Pogo Hopper like a very delicate edge to be balanced. Or you just make Pogo not a mech.
Make it a beast.
Sure. Beast Rogue.
And instead of a mechanical
Maybe
rabbit, it's an
no,
actual
no.
rabbit on a mechanical Pogo stick.
Well, people don't want to kill actual rabbits, but if you say, oh, it's just a robot, it had no feelings, like, oh, okay.
I gotta move.
PNC finally picks up Blastmaster Boom, but he has no rush. If he goes for it, he has the full bomb set up with Blast Master Boom. The opponent has so much life, though, it might not even matter. And he has Dr. Boom at Genius, which means Blast Master Boom gets answered by a Dynamatic.
Oh, he's running out of time. Alright, she's gonna go for one more path plus the commander. Just going for a board clear.
Yeah, this makes sense given that Blast Master Boom is so easily answered by his opponent. Also, Amnesiac, he's holding 10 cards? He's holding 9 cards.
Yeah, still doesn't have Archivist Elysiana. Oh, okay, now does. So he could hold.
Right, is it? So this is a territory of the matchup where if you have everything that you need, you could hypothetically just keep passing because you stay really far ahead in fatigue. And the bombs that get shuffled in, the 3 bombs that are in Amnesiac's deck, they all count as additional cards because Amnesiac will be drawing, right? The bomb text reads, cast when drawn, which means that when you play it, you also draw another card.
Be a good time for a
But if
master
it burns
plan.
through the hand is too full mechanic, then it doesn't count as a cast when drawn, therefore it just passes for the fatigue count. So Amnesiac could hypothetically do that.
There's still a couple things that I think he may want. Second Omega Assembly, the Clockwork Goblin. Yep, that's it. Maybe Harrison.
So a bomb shuffled into his deck. Yeah, I mean, maybe. We'll see. PNC finally has the Harrison Jones target lined up. I'd be very interested if he chose not to do that, given that he has 3 bombs in the deck and Blast Master Boom wouldn't even summon all the bombs. This is also an interesting opportunity for PNC to maybe explore Snip Snap, because it is a very difficult mini to remove. You do have to spread it out, though. You have to make it simultaneously good against Warpath and against Omega Devastator. The thing is, you're also looking at a Kaboom hero power from Amnesiac, so Snip Snap is less likely this turn. Things are all pointing towards the Harrison Jones to me.
That belongs in a museum.
Snip Snap has
Oh, I don't know about that.
This seems like a desperation play, and one that's very easily broken. Usually desperation plays at least have like a semblance of outs. Like, oh, if he I just have to hope that he doesn't have it. Amnesiac is very deep into his deck, and he's been holding so many cards. It just feels unlikely that Amnesiac can't answer this.
Maybe he wants to try and force out a Warpath, so that way his Blastmaster Boom, when he plays it next turn, is more likely to stick.
Right, it's just that there's a
This would be a
Kaboom
good time
on
for a
the
master
hero
plan.
power, so this is not the turn to play Snip Snap if you feel that way. Funny enough, you know, Amnesiac going for turn over Warpath bait, which things worked out for PNC. Forcing, air quote, forcing Amnesiac to Warpath. So if a Blast Master Boom comes out, how does Amnesiac deal with it now?
Omega Devastator, Microbots.
Right.
Wow, who is that handsome
So not even that difficult, honestly.
Yeah, he's got the Mega Devastator first queued up. He can afford to take all max boom damage and still be perfectly fine. Not that he would. Snip Snap drawn is also ridiculous.
Maybe a separation here on these Snip Snaps?
Yeah, I'd like to see that because each of it represents damage. He's just gonna straight up trade into the boom.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Looks like he's gonna shield slam the Boom.
Right. He wants to use the turning him over to gain max armor. I like that. Oh man, dealing 1 Whew. This is brutal to watch. Feels just
Love that fuse
like a
thing.
schoolyard bullying, TJ. Really? No trigger. Taking the damage when it comes.
Hey, he's seen Spellbreakers, so what else is he gonna do? Still no Dr. Boom Mad Genius for PNC.
Yeah, and I'm starting to be hard pressed to find ways PNC can even potentially come back, because he doesn't even have like this this Mech-Cthulhu possibility if he does find Dr. Boom Mad Genius, because he has Archivist Lysiana that delays it for another 10 turns.
He actually does have. Does he have a slight? Yeah, he has a slight life lead. No, he doesn't. It's 43 to
So many
45 considering
choices.
bomb damage.
I'm starting to wonder if PNC should play Elysiana, but not because it's his best choice to win, but because I am legitimately thinking about ways that he can win, and it's very hard for me to find it.
I don't think he will.
I don't think he will either, given that he still needs to find his Dr. Boom Mad Genius. That's the most important thing. But he's just not doing anything. Did he even get all the attacks off?
Yep.
He did.
You know, at this point, I think Amnesiac has waited so long to shuffle bombs in that he's probably going to wait until after Elysiana has played to shuffle bombs. He's so far ahead. He doesn't have much pressure, but doesn't need much pressure. So he doesn't. I don't think he wants to give PNC the opportunity to maybe Elysiana to remove the bombs from the deck.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart move, I'd say, from Amnesiac, because he knows time is on his side, and he's got so much off of the Dr. Boom hero power versus the Garish hero power. All these boom bots absorbing 3 and 4 damage apiece. Good stuff. Everything looks good for Amnesiac so far.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah. There's 8 cards left in the deck and 2 bombs PNC deck. But I guess Amnesiac's line of thinking could also be, well, if I put a lot of bombs in his deck right now, either one, scenario 1, he draws them, I win for me. 2, he plays Archivist Elysiana to get rid of the bombs, but also gets rid of Dr. Boom Mad Genius.
Speaking of which, PNC still hasn't found it. Bottom 5 or
Bottom
6
5.
cards.
Last card, there's 1 bomb still left.
Right.
So
Bottom 5.
bottom 5. He's got a Warpath
So
remaining,
many
a
choices.
Caliber, Dr. Boom Mad Genius. Does have double Omega Assembly left in the bottom part of his deck.
Okay. Finding Mech-Cthulhu, I guess. Nah, it doesn't really work. He still has to play Archivist
This
Elysiana.
would
I'm
be a
really,
good
again,
time for a master
I think he just has to get a lot of pressure from Elysiana.
I think that PNC's win percentage is like below 1%. And when you say below 1%, it means that it takes like an incredible series of events that should make every highlight reel to the end of it. He's down the life, he's down the value, he's down the tempo.
Oh, those
Now
are
he's
lots of
down
bombs.
all the bombs.
So his bottom 4 is 2 Omega Assemblies,
Dr. Boom Mad
Dr. Boom Mad Genius, and Wrench Caliber. So he packs a punch in those bottom cards.
So many choices.
Poncho. Packs a poncho.
Packs a poncho of cards. Muchos bombs.
muchos bombas. There's not that much going on.
So many choices.
I wouldn't even be surprised to see PNC concede, to be honest. But he does have the Warpath automatic clear. That's a pretty straightforward one.
Light the fuses!
A Warpath after he plays these minions, that way he can absorb the boom bot damage. It's a good min-max. Oh, nope, he didn't get the second Warpath off. That's what you get for playing too slow. Gotta play faster. You gotta.
You gotta.
You gotta. Even if I know you have like a laggy internet connection, that was something that PNC was bringing up. He was like, hey, like sometimes I have slow internet. It's like, well, you gotta account for that. Move 5 seconds quicker.
Better yet, move 30 seconds quicker.
Yeah, or 45 seconds quicker.
Magic neutralized.
Yeah, this should be the beginning of the end here. We're game number 1.
Yep.
Not really much for Amnesiac. Dude doesn't have to shuffle the bombs in. Knows that Arcus Lysiana is likely to come out if he shuffles too many bombs. Dr. Boom Genius finally comes into the hand.
But he's not guaranteed to remove this damage on board if he plays Dr. Boom Genius.
Right.
May want to Omega Devastator Ziliax in this position and then follow up with Dr. Boom Genius.
Maybe.
Yeah,
no.
I like that. I think you'd rather go for it. If you're gonna come to this far, you don't want to just throw it away by playing a little bit haphazardly.
So many choices.
I gotta move!
Oh man.
I'm so glad!
PNC thinks about it for a long time, says, you know what, Dr. Boom. Gets the kaboom.
Still very far behind.
Oh yeah. He's not fooling anyone. How much damage is this? Is this potentially lethal?
It is not. There are no bombs left.
Okay.
He can't go the last bit of distance. And at this point, because Dr. Boom Genius has been found,
Unity. Precision.
you are worried about Archivist Elysiana, but that's why he magnetizes Ziliax, because now PNC's faced with a decision where, okay, sure, go ahead, Archivist Elysiana to get rid of the bombs from your deck. You're going to take 10, and you're dead.
Yeah, so you can't play Elysiana in this position. Oh, he just draws the bombs anyways.
Yeah. And Omega Devastator plus Ziliax still able to get through this. Omega Devastator first. Heal back up.
All right, there's more life to be gained here for PNC. He does have the Omega Devastator Ziliax as a combination. Swing his life total a little bit. I don't even know if there's any means worth pulling for Hecklebot whatsoever. This is,
Well, he could go for, he doesn't know for sure. He could go for Hecklebot. Maybe Archivist Elysiana's in the bottom 5.
that's fair. It'd be a different game if Archivist Elysiana's in the bottom 5.
Precision.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if that was his best case scenario. But he probably wanted to take down this minion first
Yep.
because of the life total difference.
Yep.
And then Shield Slam can get past this.
And the Clockwork Goblin set up again.
Right, he doesn't actually have to play Shield Slam. He can also just play the Omega Devastator.
He could actually play Archivist Elysiana here.
For what purpose? Just to have a 7-zone on board?
Because this is a lot of tempo for it. He just saw a Mega Devastator.
He can set up the equivalent of that power though, without it. So Elysiana.
But it would get out of the way and it would remove 2 bombs.
I don't think he's that worried about the life total, though.
Yeah, I guess. He just wants to maximize his fatigue.
Yeah, I'd say so. He's in such a dominant position.
Yeah. And Amnesiac, once again, going to present that situation where get rid of my bomb or get rid of my board.
Yeah.
But his bombs are just right on top every time.
I'm almost out of cards.
So the Eternium Rover Beryllium Nullifier does keep him alive because he gains 2 armor from it.
Yep, and he doesn't want to Omega Assembly because if he Omega Assemblies, doesn't pick up a mech that can kill one of these Clockwork Goblins and he can't zap
Right.
with that combo.
Magic neutralized.
PNC is holding out until the bitter end. He's the guy that you want fighting on your side when it comes to any kind of war. He does not give up till the very last thing. And I feel like if we watched a few other players, they would have conceded a long time ago.
Yep.
And you gotta tip your cap to that. The fact that he's hanging in there and just like, you know what? Maybe I can find him. Maybe he'll misplay. Maybe I'll find some surprise win condition. Maybe I'll just make my opponent really mad by taking forever. And for him, it matters because it's his playoff spot.
Yeah.
And he's 6 and 5.
Then.
Amnesiac's taking it also very seriously too. He's not just like, okay, well I win, I'm just gonna do whatever. He wants to win, and he wants to take every measure against what he can to stop his opponent from getting any edge. Looking like an opportunity for him to finally drop the Spellbreaker on the Magnetized minion. You drop the Acolyte of Pain.
To me.
Now PNC can't even Elysiana because he just dies on the board. That.
Yep.
Wait, nope. He survives if he plays Hecklebot and gets nothing. You can even Omega Assembly for like a Zilliax. Dude, if PNC wins this game, he is like the best warrior player of all.
This would be a good time for a master plan.
I mean, he really isn't, but it would be ridiculous.
Oh, Eternium Rover is armor gain,
Sure.
but he's operating at 1 life here, essentially.
Yep. He used to Hecklebot and hope that it pulls nothing.
Hecklebot will pull...
It'll pull, at least pull 1 minion. There's an active.
It'll pull a Town Crier.
Yeah, there's minions in Amnesiac's deck.
I think there's only a Town Crier.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah. Because there's 2 bombs, a Town Crier, a shield block, and an Omega Assembly.
Sure, why not?
This-
Throw in the brawl.
This seemed like...
And he wins! And the bombs go off! Amnesiac really wants this game to end, but he can't. He's just... it's impossible. This game will never end, DJ.
Well, he can just Security Rover, and that's almost checkmate.
He could also just pass. I'm actually willing to throw out a bet that if Amnesiac disconnected, he'd still be able to win if he like lost a couple turns here. He's so close to killing him. Like if
Yeah.
PNC plays Archivist Elysiana and Amnesiac flips to a hero power that deals 1 damage, he dies.
Or if he just plays a minion here. He can't play Archivist Elysiana, so then he's in an awkward position with fatigue.
Right.
Amnesiac may even play Security Rover. Nah, there's no point in playing the Omega Devastator. Just play Security Rover, Blast Shield.
All right. So PNC says his Hecklebot could. It's okay. He has to do the Elysiana.
If he's Elysiana, he's 100% dead.
Yeah, he's just gonna do it.
Oh my god.
Heavy metal rampage.
Maybe I'll pick up a 0 mana draw a card.
Sweep it. Dread
And then draw into a 1 mana gain 50 armor.
Corsair.
Why?
Probably the
Thinking about his choices. Why?
Job's done.
He's doing this to try to tilt Amnesiac. He knows Amnesiac values real life experiences. He knows Amnesiac wants to go back and hang out with his friends at his parties and his vacation. So he's like, I want to drain as much enjoyment out of this from you as possible. That's my theory.
Just everybody else.
All right,
Gets
let's go.
that splash
We have to
damage.
go to break. We're super behind. We're super behind schedule. I can't
Yeah.
talk anymore. We'll be back with more HSGM right after this.
My name is Francisco Frale Montas. One of my best friends came out with my nickname. We are all getting like nicknames with 3 letters for some reason, like 13 years old. My name is Francisco, and Francisco's called Pancho. So it's just like 3 letters from that, PNC. One interesting thing about me that most people don't know is that I used to study ancient history. I quit for Hearthstone a couple of years, but plan on going back at one point. My favorite Hearthstone Esports moment was when I topped like Lethal 2016 Copa America Finals. That was like my first big win, and I was very, very happy. It's like finally all that I worked for coming true. Being Grandmasters for me means that all the hard work that I put in last years and all the time that I spent the game is paying off. My favorite thing about Grandmasters would be that I get a chance to prove myself like on the big stage. What makes me unique as a player, I would say, is just bringing very complicated decks to tournament, like mostly combo decks that people usually don't play. My personal goals this year will be to earn as much money as I can, of course, and yes, improve as a player and play the best I can.
I'm Will Barton. I'm also Amnesiac, the young savage. I was Amnesia SC for like 3 years. But since I didn't have a microphone when I started playing Hearthstone, everyone was just like, oh, it's Amnesiac. And I was like, no, but there was no mic. So I was just like, yes, okay. So I think my experience for Grandmasters was different from a lot of people, because in my mind, there was just never any way I wasn't gonna be in the league. I've been top 5 in points in North America for like 4 years now or something, 3 or 4 years. I have a big presence online. I think people get excited when I come onto streams and watch them. I'm somebody people can kind of get behind. So in my mind, when they announced Grandmasters, I was like, all right, let's do it. In terms of Hearthstone, I still really think that I have what it takes to be one of, if not the best players in the world. And I really intend to put in more work than I did last year and be more disciplined. I think I got a lot better at using my time over the past year, and I want to apply that skill and show people just how good I can be.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Hearthstone Grandmasters. Amnesiac currently up 1-0 over PNC in this Warrior vs. Warrior. It's our only Warrior mirror of the day. Although PNC is down, we'll see if he gets a leg up in his secondary or tertiary deck come into play. I do believe his secondary deck is much stronger than the Warrior mirror.
Yep, and you can take a look at it right here. He's taken out 1 copy of Warpath, both shield blocks, a Spellbreaker, and a Brawl. He's added in Coppertail Imposter, the second Omega Devastator, a Faceless Manipulator, and 2 War Gears.
Yeah, so much more aggressive, which I feel like is going to be more exciting than, quite frankly, I'll just say it. The last game took forever.
Yes.
But, I do also, again, want to, one more time, at least acknowledge the fact that PNC doesn't give up, and I think that is very important as a player. You heard his interview where he's like, yeah, my goals are to win, but I also want to improve as a player. And if at every juncture at any point you just give up mentally, obviously we knew for a while that PNC was going to lose, but you still want to be able to figure out what the best plays, because sometimes in tough situations, part of what makes the good players from the great players, TJ, is being able to find an impossible victory when everyone else would lose.
Very true.
That said, he was 100% dead for a long time.
He was. Even if he had survived at 2 HP, he would have died eventually. But PNC keeps the Dr. Boom Mad Genius in the opening hand this time around.
He's learned.
He has learned. And
ooh, nice draw there from Amnesiac.
yeah, this is looking very similar to Amnesiac's hand in the last game, with Blastmaster Boom and Brawl and Wrench Caliber and whatnot. Amnesiac, maybe a small opportunity to switch to the secondary deck, but he removes Archivist Elysiana, which is a big thing.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to do that unless he knows for a fact that PNC also loses Archivist Elysiana, which he does not.
This strategy did not work out too well for RDU on day 1 of week 6 of the European Grandmasters. He brought a similar style of warrior deck and lost to Pavel in a Bomb Warrior mirror.
Yeah, but this doesn't really feel like a true Bomb Warrior mirror in the sense that they aren't using bombs as their primary goal. It seems like Amnesiac's goal last game was to just simply outvalue his opponent and then wait for the bombs to inevitably be drawn. And that's okay too, because that is also an equally viable win condition. In this case, Amnesiac has the ability to win back the board through his Wrench Caliber or his Militia Commander. Wrench Caliber tends to be a better setup because it can answer whatever your opponent plays last turn and the future turn.
Yep. Also, funnily enough, PNC's ability to fight back on a board that he's lost is much worse. Without shield blocks, his armor gain is limited for Shield Slam. He's only got 1 Warpath, no Brawl in the deck. So let's say that Amnesiac does play 1 more bomb card, swings with Wrench Caliber, and gets down to Blastmaster Boom fully.
Yeah, how do you answer Blastmaster Boom?
How do you don't. You just hope that you're ahead on board enough to where it doesn't matter, or you can mitigate it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what a lot of criticism against normal mech decks they receive is that they don't really have a good comeback potential. The exceptions are things like Venomizer plus Missile Launcher and Hunter. But yeah, like look at Mech Paladin, for example. They don't have like good clears, so what they usually do is tech in like a Shrink Ray or like a Equality Consecration package, and it's not that great.
Or even like Lightforge Blessing to try and...
Yeah, your hope is that your mech is so big that your opponent is forced to trade into it, and that's your removal plan. Like you can put like a Bronze Gatekeeper on it.
Yeah.
Giant taunt minion. PNC trying to figure out what's his best form of aggression. Almost anything that he develops, he knows is walking into a turn 4 play from Amnesiac.
But at the same time... So if he steps here, I want to see a trade.
Yes.
Reason being is because if he doesn't trade, Militia Commander comes down, which he's seen Town Crier, he knows it's very likely. Wrench Caliber goes over one mech, and the 1/1 goes over the other mech. So he can't magnetize War Gear next turn to get that immediate 5 damage. By trading, he guarantees that back.
Seems like the Militia Commander here is something that Amnesiac is likely leaning towards. If his opponent has Dynamatic,
Defend the
I
gates.
think that's okay. If his opponent has Militia Commander right back, he answers it anyways with his weapon. Seems good to me. The War Gear here, though. War Gear is spicy because it makes it a 6/6, and that means that Amnesiac can't answer it. So I love the War Gear in this position. Question is, the left microbot
Maybe
or the right
no,
microbot?
no.
Or maybe the right microbot. No, left microbot. No,
Nope.
left microbot.
And then do I bluff the trade?
Wait, no. It's the right microbot.
Do I bluff the trade? No.
No,
No.
right microbot.
Yeah, and I think there's a pretty big argument to be had here for the left microbot. What do you think?
No, I disagree. I think right microbot. I mean, am I being obtuse here, or is there another play that I'm not considering, like Clockwork Goblin? There's no way. It gets answered by the board. Left microbot. I knew it! I knew it was the right play.
I knew it!
I just felt it.
I'm skeptical about this one, Dan. I don't know about this play.
What? Why not?
I think it's the right microbot.
All right, you troll.
Just feels better.
We are losing on this broadcast. It's because, are you right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay. I don't know why I'm asking that. You're holding the pen in your right hand.
Actually, left-handed. Wait, no. Yeah, I'm right-handed.
PNC sees the Acolyte of Pain. He can shut it down with the Militia Commander. Everything's pointing towards that Dr. Boom Mad Genius on 7. I think the Militia Commander here is definitely better than the Clockwork Goblin, because you want to push the 6 damage to face. Every time this microbot, this left microbot, can hit face, you're in a good spot.
Defend the gates.
Alternatively, could Shield Slam, yes, instead of Hero Power.
Whoa.
I agree with this too. I think you need to, you're on the tempo plan, and you want to use your cards to gain tempo.
Is that tempo, though?
It is. You're using. Well,
What does that 2/1 represent?
It represents. Is it Warpath clearing? No, you can do
Warpath.
that either
Nope,
way.
you can do that either way.
Oh no, he can't do it either way. Now he doesn't get a full clear.
Dynamatic, it dies anyway.
Well, it is Warpath for 1. It stops a Militia Commander to kill the 6/6 as well.
But he would have done that last turn.
Yes. Militia Commander top deck.
That's a real big investment for a Militia Commander top deck.
It doesn't stop Shield Block, Shield Slam either, because you can Hero Power. Huh?
Yeah.
But it protects his 2/4. I mean, it protects his board from a full clear. Let's just put it that way.
But what I'm saying is, what full clear would happen that wouldn't be possible without a 2/1? That's all I'm saying, Dan. Just food for thought. There's very minor things happening in this game, which means that there's very minor things to talk about in the game.
I mean, there's some things happening there. I mean, Amnesiac went for the turning him over brawl and ended up paying off because he killed off the 6/6. But now Dr. Boom Mad Genius comes out and Amnesiac's getting pressured on.
Yeah, but he can drop his Blastmaster Boom here. And PNC, not really too many great ways to deal with this, considering he just used his Shield Slam. He can Militia Commander trade.
Yeah, the Militia Commander is good enough, to be honest, because now he has Rush on all of his other minions. Oh, he's gonna hero power first. He gets the missile launcher.
It doesn't quite clear off the Blastmaster boom though.
Right, so I guess the Boom Reaver then.
Probably.
The missile launcher works well with the other minions that he wants to magnetize onto.
This would be a good time for a master plan.
Boom Reaver's just a big thing. If he thinks he's gonna stick a minion in the next like few turns, Missile Launcher's good because it's like a Blessing of Kings for 6 mana. Wait, was there a card that gave +5/+5 at one point in time?
Yes, Demon Heart. Give your minion +5. Also, the Wisp card, Dark Whispers, gave +5.
Ah, yeah. So it's kind of like Dark Whispers.
As well as Ysera's Nightmare card +5.
Well, I meant for like 6 mana. 5 or 6 mana. So the Dark Whispers card was.
Yeah, War Gear gives +5/+5.
Missile Launcher kind of gives +5/+5 because you deal the extra damage.
I mean, if 4 equals 5, then yeah, it does give +5/+5.
Well, it's 5 damage. That's all that matters to me.
I mean, it does 6 because it also damages you yourself. So if 5 equals 6, then yeah.
It actually does between 6 and 20. No, 6 and 19. If there's 7 minions on your opponent's board, 6 minions on your board, and then 2 to his.
Yeah, so if 19 equals 4 or 5, then yeah, you're right.
Cool, glad we settled that.
Debate over. Amnesiac gonna play the Ziliacs here. I do like that Amnesiac taking the aggressive stance. He has to rely on the Omega Summons to come back into the game. The one thing is that PNC does not have tempo, and that's where the Missile Launcher can help, because Missile Launcher is kind of like dealing +5/+5.
Yeah. But all this aggression that he's piled on the early game is kind of negated because even if he has to trade into this Boombot, and the damage from the Boombot will also have lifesteal.
Yes.
So he gains 4 more from this, and now he's going to gain 2 more from this.
Yeah, we'll see if the Boombots end up killing off the Missile Launcher, because then PNC is out of cards.
Has Omega Assembly though.
Order LUL. Wow. Talk about a dead turn here for Amnesiac. Got nothing really of substance. He can play the Tempo Harrison.
Hasn't seen a Wrench Caliber yet though.
Right.
I wonder.
Like Tempo Dynamatic, which I think is better. Very few targets in PNC's deck. Wow, Tempo Spellbreaker too. I dig it.
Wrench Caliber as well. All right, start things off with Find a Mech.
I like that one in the middle.
Like the Boom Reaver. Here comes the Boom.
Now let's take 3 more mechs. Unless he wants to go play full tempo, go Mega Devastator Wrench Caliber.
I like, actually, hold on. I think I like clearing the board for sure, because your opponent's clearly trying to play for tempo. So I like doing some kind of board cleared plan. That does seem to involve a Mega Devastator in some capacity, which means that you can Wrench Caliber the face, or you can Wrench Caliber and accept the damage instead of the Omega Devastator.
I like the additional damage to face.
For a master plan.
Leave the Omega Devastator 2 health.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
Yeah, I don't think you need to Omega Assembly. Omega Assembly is if you need to improve the power of your plays, and your plays are perfectly fine as is. Okay, so he's gonna do the Mega Devastator trade.
Picks up another Hecklebot.
All right, so Amnesiac If you have Mega Assemblies first, he's trying to see if he can squeeze in mana efficiency. I think that there's a case to play Shield Block here in case you picked up Dr. Boom Mad Genius and you can play that instead.
What now?
Dan, there's nothing more in Hearthstone that I like than glowy orange cards.
Yeah, they just help indicate what the right play is a lot of times.
They also usually do something cool.
True that. Habit Nessingwary, shout out to him. When there's a beast on board, he glows, right?
Oof.
That's a big boy.
I want to push this 5.
I do want to push this 5 too. I think I'm going to use the Boom Reaver and the Wargear to trade both ways.
Yep.
Trying to see if you can play around the Warpath from Amnesiac. Gets the damage. Your go. And Amnesiac stuck in a tough spot. Another Omega Assembly on the way. Assembly complete. Skater bot. All right, that's one way to get rushed when you don't have Dr. Boom. He has a Pinata. Pinatas are always interesting. Oh, he's just not going to use... I guess he uses a skater bot to deal 1 damage. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it takes the most power off the board.
Right, it's true. It's like a little ping.
Yep. And gonna fight for tempo as much as he can by playing the double minion for going the armor up. There is still Zilliax left in PNC's deck, so Town Crier is still active.
I want to see a spicy legendary off this Pinata.
All right, Dan, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking something big.
All right, give me examples.
I'm thinking... I want to see, like, Archmage Antonitis.
Oh,
Or I want to see Ysera. Oh, wait, hold on.
Calicos.
Caligos would be cool. Oh,
Toki Time Tinker.
I want to see Nozari.
Okay, then.
This game can go to the turn limit.
Oh, God, you monster.
Toki Time Tinker would be pretty interesting.
You get Ragnaros.
Yeah, or Major Domo.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
That'd be fun. I'm trying to think of the most ridiculous series of combination of cards.
Job done.
Luna.
That's boring.
I mean, it's actually fairly good. To give Amnesiac is lacking card draw, and he can just play Luna to draw cards.
Does he want to draw cards? So that's
That belongs in a museum.
I think he does. I think he wants to get to his Dr. Boom Mad Genius, and he finds it.
huzzah!
Okay. Bomb count. 2 in Amnesiac's deck, 2 in PNC's deck. So they're even.
Even on bombs, which means that Amnesiac is 3 cards deeper into fatigue.
Ooh. I mean, sort of, but Amnesiac also might be able to introduce some counterplay into it as well, based off keeping his hand size high. Hecklebot. Hecklebot. What could it pull? That would be bad.
There's not that many minions left in the deck. There's a Dynamatic.
Okay, then.
And
Snip Snap.
Snip Snap. Is that it? Wow. I think that's it. Amnesiac in his deck, he still has 2 Warpaths. He has a Shield Slam.
Yeah, he's been holding that shield stand for a while too, so PNC might be feeling like it's making a read on
Love that
Arcus
fuse
Luciana.
thing. Save the best for last.
All right, Robot Squirrel comes in, and now Amnesiac can answer as Dr. Boom Mad Genius himself finally to answer back. Can even play Clockwork Goblin to answer the 4-3 if he doesn't get a Zap Hero Power or a Microbots. He even has Shield Slam to use immediately as well. Things are still pretty up in the air, you know. As much as kind of saying like, oh, PNC has such an advantage, Amnesiac does have a chance to win from this position.
He does, but honestly, he needs to get some 2-for-1s.
I think the fatigue isn't really as important. I think it's the tempo because yeah, like and that's why I think that he has a lot more game because PNC doesn't have that many cards in the hand.
He doesn't have many cards in the hand, but his cards are pretty high value, and even the cards that he's drawing from his deck are pretty high value. He still has a War Gear. He still has like Faces Manipulator.
Yeah, but
he still has Blastmaster Boom.
That's
like,
fair.
The cards off the top from PNC are higher value. His deck is not clogged up by Warpaths.
Microbots. Shield Slam. That's a good tempo tool. Looks like PNC is just going to be developing onto this board. Amnesiac still has one Brawl.
No.
He only plays one Brawl?
He only plays one Brawl. So no Brawls. He has both Warpaths.
Apologies there.
Both Warpaths. So 10 cards left, 2 of which are bombs. So he's got 2 Warpaths, a Dynamatic, a Wrench Caliber, a Snip Snap.
This would be a good time for a master plan.
A Clockwork Goblin, a Shield Slam.
Face me, you overgrown oak.
I love that fuse
And
thing.
he pulls out a minion with the Hecklebot. That's nice to help him climb ahead of fatigue and also offset that bomb damage. It's a pretty big board.
The scary part about it is Amnesiac knows that PNC has ways to make these mix bigger and copy them with base manipulator. So it's starting to get tough. And I think the problem that Amnesiac's going to run into is, yes, fatigue may not matter, but it could in the same situation that it mattered last game for PNC, where if PNC keeps the tempo, Amnesiac may never have an opportunity to play his Archivist Elysiana.
Okay, then.
Yeah, right now, it's feeling like he doesn't really have many opportunities to just clear the board. Shield Block only brings him up to 6, which means that Shield Slam doesn't necessarily get him anything. And also, you can draw a Bomb, which negates it entirely.
Well, that didn't do anything.
Yeah. Brilliant Nullifier and hit, and then set up for a Ward Pass going into the following turn. But that opens up a lot of options for PNC. Woo! Only one bomb left, so not the biggest Blastmaster bomb.
Yeah, for PNC, he's got defensive plays. Not that much good
then.
proactive plays outside of Ziliax. I think I favor some kind of aggressive play here, though.
Okay,
You don't want to give your
then.
opponent the ability to tempo swing you back. That's the only way you lose. I think the Blastmaster Boom here makes sense. It's fine.
Wow, who is that handsome?
Yeah, he knows there's no Brawl left. And he could trade these in and try and trade his 4 down. Ooh! Yeah, that's good.
Juicy 4 damage Boombot. And Amnesiac staring at his last couple turns here. Oh, okay, Mega Devastator's good.
Yeah, Mega Devastator is very good. So if he Delivery Jones, he still has mana to be able to play Omega Devastator, Clockwork Goblin, trade some of this down. Problem is, like, the Coppertail Imposter would still live. And he just has no armor gain. Eternium Rovers are gone. He could pick up... Ah, well, there's Vicious Scrap Hound. Rusty Recycler is also kind of life gain.
Hecklebot is Taunt, which is life gain.
Yeah, but there's so many big things in PNC's deck that I guess there's not that many left. There's a War Gear left. Getting Faceless Manipulator out wouldn't be bad also.
Yes.
Or Clockwork Goblin.
love that
Trying to
you
preserve life
thing.
totals.
And I mean, in his mind, maybe Amnesiac's like, if I pull out Lysiana, maybe I have a chance to win too.
Yeah. I think at this point you're behind enough to where Hecklebot has more merit than these other two, but Vicious Scrap Hound's just the most guaranteed life gain. Oh boy.
Oh man, Faceless Manipulator.
I want to go in here, Dan.
So you want to magnetize it to the Coppertail, then copy it?
Yep.
I like it.
Push 7.
Okay, then.
Can you even trade the Faceless version in? So you have a 7/6 lifesteal, no Divine Shield, 7/6 lifesteal with Divine Shield. You may even be able to snipe off the second minion with this last Boombot. So he trades Towncrier Boombot.
Unity, precision,
Or he could just go all face.
The Divine Shield feels less important to protect because the opponent has microbots,
Yeah.
but I generally agree.
This could be the end of the road.
It looks like it is. I don't see a way for Amnesiac to get out. He doesn't have armor right now. Draws a bomb. And Wrench Caliber. That should be it.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, there's no way for him to gain enough armor to utilize the Shield Slam. He could remove one of the threats, but he'd still be dead.
He can go Microbots,
Okay, then.
double Warpath, Vicious Scrap Hound, double Shield Slam. No, that's not enough.
I give up.
All right, that's going to do it. PNC wins game number 2 and keeps himself alive in this series. And the mech tech finally paying off, TJ.
The Mech Tech. Did you ever play with deck techs?
I did. The skateboarders and stuff.
Yeah, the finger skateboards.
Yeah.
I don't have very flexible fingers, so it was a miserable time for me.
It's okay, TJ.
But I liked customizing my...
Hearthstone doesn't require a lot of finger dexterity, so you're fine. You're okay to go. You can still play. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have Game 3 between PNC and Amnesiac. Stay tight. The conclusion of this best of 3 when we return.
Well met, friend. Ooh.
let's get this over with.
I win!
Oh, what an amazing game! Oh, well played!
Here's to the winner.
Amnesiac versus PNC is coming down to the wire. Game number 3 about to begin. Warrior versus Warrior. I think it's been the tale of 2 booms. One boom showing up for a player and one boom not showing up.
That sounds like the worst book ever.
It was the worst of times and the greatest of times. I actually forgot how the book opens.
It's like I don't know.
Or was that Great Expectations? I don't remember. Either way, Charles Dickens wrote some books that I was supposed to read, and I didn't. Instead, I was playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
And fast forward 20 years later, that high school teacher got fired, and I do not know what's happening to him, and I'm doing this. So we're both losers, apparently.
Uh,
I actually do know what happened to him, but it is very sad. I do not want to talk about it.
all right.
He got in trouble with the law. And
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it.
he got in trouble with the law, and it was extremely disappointing for several reasons because we all looked up to him as a really cool guy.
That made me really sad, Dan.
And I'm pretty sure he's still in jail to this day.
I'm very sad, Dan.
I am too. He was like the cool teacher, you know?
Yeah.
But it turns out he was not cool. All right, well, let's go into game number, story for another day, perhaps. Let's go into game number 3, Eternium Rovers, to start things off here. No early game Mad Geniuses, at least from the onset. Amnesiac.
Woo!
Tempo Omega Assembly. He's ready to go. Already introduced with choices. Should he play the Faithful Lumi? Get that extra 1/1 buff? Should he go for the Eternium Rover? Or should he plan for a Beryllium Nullifier later in the game?
What now? I must choose.
I think it kind of really depends on how you imagine the pan out going out from the next few turns. If you play Eternium Rover or Faithful Lumi, you win that early game, but what does it really net you? It nets you the ability to play Acolyte of Pain and Town Crier a little more freely. It doesn't do much, but the early game snowball might be what gets you to win the late game.
It also presents PNC with kind of a tough situation. Forcing the coin. Snip Snap would have been kind of a punish to this play, like a coin Snip Snap.
Coin Snip Snap or Amnesiac having Snip Snap?
Yeah.
Second Omega Assembly. I think Amnesiac's tempted to go for it again.
I don't know about the second one. Such a high-value card, the game goes long. The game most likely will go long, even with this mech package from PNC. Amnesiac's got enough removal in the deck to at least buy some time. And the proactive 3 drops, PNC most likely would have played Snip Snap there. I guess he's willing to take just 1 draw from Acolyte of Pain.
Let the pain speak to me.
All right.
It's interesting that they didn't opt for Town Crier, given that Town Crier has a really high chance of drawing a 4-mana play, and right now Amnesiac has no 4-mana play. I don't know. I feel like he's overvaluing the impact of drawing a card versus having board dominance, and it actually does directly conflict with what his deck was lining up to do. But by playing this Acolyte of Pain, he is putting a giant target mark on this Acolyte of Pain, so that way Amnesiac doesn't lose his Eternium Rover.
Yeah. Town Crier is a 1-attack minion that draws a card. Acolyte of Pain is a 1-attack minion that draws a card.
Oh. Well, all's well that ends well, I suppose. Picks up Militia Commander anyways.
Defend the gates.
Picks up the value trades, the VTs.
Ooh! Love me some VTs.
And PNC has the Coppertail Imposter. Raring to go.
Nothing lines up super well.
Oh.
Amnesiac has changed.
He came back from college.
So many choices.
Chad Amnesiac.
I like how he took off a Red Bull shirt, put on a Red Bull hat.
Yeah.
Are you a tank top gamer, Dan?
You heard my policy on clothes.
Well, tank top is like the minimalists'
So many choices.
upper body wear.
Right. I just don't really have tank tops in general.
Oh, me neither. Unsurprisingly. They're not very flattering.
I am not a blanket gamer. I'm not a tank top gamer. I am not an underwear gamer.
Maybe. No.
Are you a lensless glasses gamer?
I'm a... No.
Oh.
I don't wear my glasses when I game. I am au naturel, as they say.
Do you wear shoes?
I do. So I wear nothing but shoes.
No socks.
No socks.
Just put on your gaming shoes.
Put on my gaming shoes.
I like the cut of your jib, Dan.
Because I gotta go fast.
Just in case.
Imagine how
You
Sonic...
need to evacuate
You know,
quickly.
if you imagine how Sonic is...
Doesn't he have shorts?
Pretty sure he doesn't.
Really?
PNC picks up the Snip Snap here. That's a good turn 6. I think he was setting up for this Dynamatic, but now is a little bit awkward. He could still trade it to the 1-2 and Dynamatic afterwards.
You're right, he doesn't have shorts. I was thinking of the Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, right. There's a handful of cartoon characters and video game characters that wear pants.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us enlightened folks.
If I had to pick a fictional character that I look most like when I play video games, SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob SquarePants? Why?
Mostly because the lower half of my body, the closest shape to it is a square.
Oh, really? Interesting. That's just an image I'll never be able to understand. So PNC chooses to go for the Snip Snap because he feels like he's calling out Amnesiac. He says, I don't think you have the second Militia Commander to take this down. And even if you did, well, I would still be okay. Wow. Okay, all right, well, Spellbreaker.
That's a great pickup.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yep.
And Amnesiac now gets it set up for a Blast Master Boom. 7.
And has board. And as we talked about, PNC, no Brawl in the deck, only one Warpath, no shield blocks. Not the greatest defense against Blastmaster Boom. He kind of relies on being ahead on board.
Yes.
And Dynamatics very awkward here. Could Ziliax.
Yeah, Ziliax to answer the 4-3 seems fine.
Could also just Wrench Caliber.
Yeah, the thing about the Ziliax is that it gets answered really easy by a 2-4.
Yeah.
I think Wrench Caliber is probably just better for your overall plays, but if your opponent does play Blastmaster Boom, you're pretty sad. I think either way you're sad, so you don't play around that possibility. I think you acknowledge the better case scenario. The other thing, too, is that your mana on 7 is pretty hamstringed by the 5 mana card, so if you play a 5 mana card now, you can play Acolyte and Wrench Caliber the following turn and get cards out of your hand. If he plays a 5 mana card here, a 4 mana card here, he's playing a 5 mana card next turn.
Maybe. No.
Amnesiac gonna put on the pressure. He says 4 damage is nice, but as his tank top says, he wants more. PNC needs his brawl. Does not get it.
He has no Brawl.
He has no brawl. He's a no brawl gamer.
So many choices.
Dan, are you a cup of water gamer or a bottle of water gamer?
I am a cup of water.
Yeah, do you put your water
Like
in a
yeah,
cup?
as
or do
opposed to a water bottle or a bottle of water.
both.
Oh well, I actually have both at my desk. And I have
Whoa.
and I have a.
You're
water-
a multi-dimensional water gamer.
That's right. There's more than meets the eye when it comes to me. I have a water cooler also on the other side of the apartment, so I'm more of a water cooler gamer. I head over there when I'm having a long day, and I gossip to myself about people in the office, aka my apartment.
Just rest your arm on the water cooler.
Yeah, and like
How you guys doing?
as a bird flies by, I like point him like, "What's up?" Point to it. Yeah, and then a squirrel jumps on my balcony. I'm like, working hard or hardly working. I have a good time. I
Get those reports done today?
That's right. Talk to my cat body pillows. Be like, all right, I'm gonna need it on my desk by the end of the day, please. Yeah. Well, Amnesiac can Ziliax and really press in for damage. You can also just shut down this weapon with the Harrison Jones. PNC not really having many options here, and the pressure is the name of the game here. When no player has Dr. Boom Mad Genius, they don't have the luxury of sitting back and AFK. Whew. Whew. Big Boombot damage.
Yeah. Even if PNC were to draw a Warpath here, just...
Yeah, he takes a little bit too much damage. Still can't answer the Blastmaster Boom.
Yeah, he's 1 damage off.
Ooh.
This game's just gonna end.
Ooh. War Gear does nothing.
And this is the problem with this mech deck, is that once it falls behind, because you're removing so much of your ability to deal with wide boards from your deck, as soon as you fall behind, you're you're in chub.
Oh yeah. PNC is dead, I think.
He can go like Ziliax, armor up, shield slam, the 5/4, but then problem still stands. Even if he picks up a Mega Devastator from his deck, he's on 9 mana next turn. He can double Acolyte of Pain armor up. Not that I'm bored. Hope to absorb some Boombot damage and draw some cards.
Yeah. Dead to the Ziliax. If he doesn't do anything.
Well, I think he's 1 damage off if he... So he's gonna attack to Boombot, try and draw a card here.
I like it.
Ooh.
Icing on the cake. Dr. Boom Mad Genius finds its way into the hand. Amnesiac can go in for the throat. Does he need to play it now? He does have alternatives. He could go for a Shield Slam onto the Ziliax and then press in for damage. I think I like that better.
And then you could follow up with Dr. Mad Genius or a Mega Devastator. Put him down to 2.
Could even lethal him if you Boombot trade. Nah, he's too good for that.
Yeah, also don't think he wants to give him extra cards, but Warpath, it does not save him. And he's dead if he Warpaths. Blastmaster Boom does not save him.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. Amnesiac takes the series 2-1. As he is going to ride his victory into a 5-7 record, and once again put PNC in a tie with StrifeCro. They both lost today.
Yeah, StrifeCro had a great start to the season. PNC had a rough start to the season. Then they equalized, and now they just continue to equalize throughout the rest. So that means that Amnesiac does have a chance, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he has to
make it through.
If he at least beat PNC today, so if he can keep going and PNC and 7-7, Amnesiac and 7-7, StrifeCro and 7-7, it's going to be an interesting finish.
Or StrifeCro and PNC could end 6-8, and Amnesiac can win out and end 7-7.
All right, well, let's go ahead and check in with Amnesiac. So Amnesiac, where are you right now?
I'm in Spain.
Oh, are you doing summer vacation, or is there business there?
Yeah, you know, just kind of hanging out. It's nice here. It's kind of 4 in the morning, but like aside from that, it's pretty good.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Trying to keep your voice down.
I was calculating. I was like, holy moly, 4 a.m.
Gotcha. Well, is it heating up there? Because I noticed you took your shirt off for some fan service there. Appreciate that.
Yeah. No, just for you, Dan. Not even the fans, just you.
That's right.
Kept the Red Bull branding there, though. I appreciate that. On point.
Yeah.
Got to rep it.
Our joke was that you were preparing for college, and the Chadnesiac transformation is underway. Real quick, what does your hoodie say? Is it just more, or is there more to it?
Oh, I think this is more life, believe, success.
Oh, gotcha.
I saw it at like a market, and I was like, yeah, I mean, that's like a message I can get behind. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, like it makes you think, but you also like can tell I go to the gym, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think the tank top part was the most important part.
Right.
Yeah,
for sure.
To flex on them. Cool. Yeah. Are you gonna be in Spain for a while?
No, I'm heading back home tomorrow. Actually, my flight leaves like I'm not gonna sleep that much.
Gotcha.
Do you guys know if I can make the playoffs for this week or for this season? Like,
apparently you can. You're 1 game behind 3rd place.
Damn. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Let's go.
We started from the bottom.
Terribly this season.
So right now, 3rd is tied between PNC and StrifeCro at 6-6, and you're 5th alone at 5-7. So you are 1 game behind, and you have a chance to leapfrog to 3rd place. There you go.
Just win out.
And my tiebreaker against PNC head-to-head is good, but not against StrifeCro. So, you know, some things have to break, right? But that's exciting to be in contention. That's pretty good.
It is. That would be quite the Amnesiac story, to say the least. And you have every right to brag until the end of time if that ends up happening that way. All right, cool. Good talk. Get some sleep,
do you
man.
guys have like any real questions, or you just want to keep talking about my tank top, or like?
So, how do you like warrior mirrors?
I played so many. It's so boring. Oh my god. Like I don't know. Like it's kind of interesting. Like I kept Blastmaster Boom every game, and it won me the third game, which is like a pan out that happens sometimes. Like I was really happy with that. The only thing I lost to that last game was his own Blastmaster Boom on 7. Like then the game would have extended, but he actually cut Brawl entirely from his deck, which I like kind of think is bad just because that can happen to you.
Right.
Like in my match against Eddie too, the same thing. Like I was like really likely to win the second game, even though he had Mechathune, because I was just killing him.
Right.
But like he had like all of his removal, so I didn't get there. But I think it's like an underrated strategy to actually just try and kill him in the mirror and just be aggressive and like play your cards. Like I like Omega Assembly, picked the Faithful Lumi, like it was just fighting for board, like spent all my mana. But yeah, I mean, I was pleased that keeping Blastmaster Boom mattered because I did it all 3 games and it was like okay the first 2, and then it won me the third game like very decisively.
Yeah, and that's all you really need in this best of 3. We're told that this is all the time that we have. Sorry that we took up most of it, kind of talking about other stuff. But looking forward to having you back in the States, and good luck in your next week's matches, man.
All right, take care, guys.
You too. Safe travels to Amnesiac. I dropped my pen behind this monitor, so I'm just going to let that go for a little bit. No? Okay.